I said, what do you want me to tie? They said, whatever you want. Well, since I'm out of all of these flies, I figured I might as well start tying some of them, and tonight's a good night to do it all. Hook, size 10. I'm going to use a size 10 sedge hook. Try and get a fine wire one, not one of the real heavy wire ones, because this is supposed to be an emerger. It's kind of a combination of usual and clink hammer, kind of sort of working together. Okay. First thing we want to do is tail. If you do not have root beer crystal flash, go and find some. That's the most useful color I know. You can also use the mother of MOP, mother of something or other. This is a little bit more crinkly and a little flatter. It also seems to work well. Okay. What I want to do is take about 3 strands. Because this is a size 10 hook, I find, 3 is a good number for it. Tie it on, part way up the middle here, kind of thing. Fold it down. Hold on to them. You want to tie them in so they're right on the top of the hook shank and get them down around the bend a little ways like that. Okay? So now you end up with 6 that will not pull out. All right. Next step is snowshoe. Work your way back up. Get a clump of snowshoe and put on a wing as if you were going to do a usual. Another way that you can speed things up, especially when you're dealing with snowshoe rabbit, is there's a lot of hair on the side that is of no value, it's in the way. Trim all that out in advance. And that way, when you're going at it, you're going straight at the good material, ready to go. Okay, just as if you were going to make a usual.
Can you use the other stuff for anything else? The bad snowshoe here?
No, it's really kind of straggly, and spend a little time. Okay. All right then, trim it off at a bit of an angle and gather it up with your thread. Stand it up, make sure you leave a fair amount at the front because you're going to put you're going to actually put some hackle on this too. You're going to need to build up a bit of a ramp. You don't need to worry too much about it being as high as it is in the back as you do with the usual. That's how you keep your usual wings from falling forward. Make sure the ramp of thread you build up in front of it is equal in height to the ramp at the back. That'll keep it straight up, okay? You don't have to be that. All right, there we go. The hackle, it flew. All right, we'll find it. I use tan dubbing, just a nice soft tan. Again, with this fly, any amount of you can tie it up in all kinds of colors. Works well in olive. Works well in. You can use it to sort of match whatever it is that is hatching. And I will reverse dub this.
Is that a poly dubbing?
Just rabbit.
Just rabbit?
Yeah. Or if you have, beaver or whatever that's the right color. Any of that will work fine. Now let's see how well I did. I'll take a turn in front. Work my way down the back like that. A little long and a little heavy, but it'll work. I used this fly to great effect out in Alberta this past summer. So now I'm wrapping up with my thread, helps to reinforce the body. In the front, some Cree hackle. It can be barred ginger. It can be grizzly. I like something barred, is all, just because I like the way the light works off of it. So another little shortcut. You're going to go in here now, you're going to find yourself a feather that's going to be the right size, right? If you're going to tie half a dozen of these flies, the best thing to do at this point is, once you find the feather of the size you want, is find 5 others right next to it that are the same size and pluck all of them at one go. Now lay them down on the table here, and you've got, at least you're not going back into here each time. So that'll help speed things up again.
You don't do that if you've got a cold.
No. If you're sneezing, I highly recommend you not do that. Now, you don't need a whole lot of turns here, 3 or 4. 4 is probably as many as you want.
You tying it butt in?
Yep. Typical
Sunny side forward? Or
sunny side
back?
forward. Nope. I'm going to tie it in if I ever can see the dang thing.
Hold eyes.
I tell you. All right, now I can see it. There we go. Get your hackle pliers on there. Yeah, maybe I'll go 5 turns. Okay, good. Okay. Drop it over. 2, 3. We're done.
Is that going to sit like a clink hammer?
Yeah, it's going to sit like a clink hammer. With a clink hammer, what you typically do near the tail is put half a dozen or so turns of very fine wire. That's to help encourage the tail to go down underwater. But the crystal flash takes that role for you, so you don't have to add that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a nut by hook then. What, do you know the number and the,
Oh gosh, no.
no?
I did once. I just go and buy them. I think these are ravens. I don't even buy the expensive ones. The last step, just trim it flat on the bottom, because you really want this to sit flush in the surface. Okay? That's it. That's how long it takes. You can tie a bunch of these.
So do you fish that as a dry or?
Fish that as an emerger. It's a dry fly,
Yeah.
sits right in the surface film. And that tail part sticks down below the surface. And it looks like an emerging mayfly. And I'm serious. I mean, I had a tremendous amount of success with that. I think I must have caught at least 50% of the fish I caught when I was out there in Alberta on that pattern.
You dress the wing, don't you?
Yes, you can. Floatant just on the wing. And the nice thing about the snowshoe, of course, is it absorbs that floatant really well, and it stays up. It doesn't sink very easily. You can use it in fairly heavy water. At the top of a pool where it starts to come in, you can cast it up on the rough water, and it will float in for you. Whereas most hackle flies, if you did that, they just go under. So this has a tendency to stay up. And the whitefish loved it. Yes, sir.
Sheldon, the dubbing on that is the underfur of the snowshoe rabbit?
Just rabbit dubbing. Snowshoe rabbit or cottontail or whatever it is that you can buy commercially.
So any
Don't worry about
particular color you used out in the probe net?
That color right there.
beige.
Yeah, beigey tan, not a lot of yellow in it.
Rabbit colored.